Hi friends, it's Nancy Jacobs from Embroidery It at embroideryit.com, and today we're going to make a fun little in the hoop applique project. We're going to make these little coasters, and if you've been getting the newsletter, you've received already the supply list of everything you need, but let's go through that again so in case you don't have it, you'll know all the things you're going to need here. You need 2 pieces of felt cut 5 inches square. You need for your apple a piece of cotton fabric cut 4 inches square, and for the little leaf a piece of green fabric 1.5 inches square. For the colors, for this one you need 4 colors of thread. You need a color of thread to match the background of the felt, and I've used white felt here, so I've got white thread. That's your first color. You're going to need a color to match the apple fabric, so I've got the red, a color to match the green fabric, and brown for the stem. So those are your 4 thread colors. I already have my design loaded into my machine. I've got the white thread to match the background, to match my felt, already threaded up in the machine, so I'm ready to begin. Hoop, in your 4x4 hoop, a piece of tearaway stabilizer, just the cheap stuff. You just need a lightweight tearaway stabilizer. And I'm going to lower the camera here so you can see everything as it stitches out. The first thread color, the first step, is to show the placement of our felt. We'll let that go ahead and stitch around here. So this way you can see exactly where the felt is supposed to go. And you kind of want to just center it over your stitching so it extends beyond the stitching on all sides. If you need to tape this in place, you can use some painter's tape to tape it. I usually just hold it in place for a couple of stitches. I'm just careful, and the felt's really good about staying in place. I don't have a problem with it. So the next color, what we just did, that tacked the felt down to the stabilizer. Now we're going to change out the white thread, and we're going to now use the red to match the apple. Thread up our machine here. Okay, and our next thread color is going to show the placement for our apple fabric. Okay, so we can see exactly where we need to lay our fabric. Just set it in place. Again, if you need to, you can tape it, but I'll hold it in place for a couple stitches. And again, with felt, it just kind of sticks to that felt, and I don't really have a problem with it shifting or moving. But feel free to use a little painter's tape if you need it. Okay, so now that next color tacked down the red to the felt, and we need to trim this up. I use just a little spring action scissors. These are my favorite go-to scissors when it comes to applique. Friends, this can snip so quickly, and it can get really close to my stitching. So I've taken the hoop out of the machine, but I did not unhoop my fabric. So I kept everything hooped up and have just trimmed around the apple now. So we're going to put it back onto the machine, keep our red thread there, and this next bit is going to do a pretty satin border around the apple fabric. So friends, this is going to take just a couple of minutes to do this. And one thing I was going to mention is have your applique fabric pressed ahead of time. And if you even use a little spray starch or something like Best Press will just give it some added crispness, and that kind of helps when it comes to cutting your applique, to getting it to cut a little easier, a little smoother and quicker for you. So that's something to consider doing. And so now we watch and we wait. And I actually think that the process, just watching the machine stitch out, is really quite fascinating. Also, as it's stitching, I'll show you, here's some of the other ones that I've done. And it's really kind of fun just to play with color, all the different colors of fabric and thread, and it's just fun to play around with them. One thing I was going to mention too is when I stitched this one out in pink, I thought, oh my goodness, wouldn't this look cute on a little girl's dress, like around the hem of the dress, or on an apron, on the bib of an apron. And you could even add a little bow to it. And how sweet is that, to add that? That would just be such a lovely touch. So play around. I mean, this is an easy applique project. It's a good way to use up your scraps. So it's a fun thing to do, to play with color, and you can make several of these. If you make 4, 6, 8, you could group all of the apples together as a set, and it'd make a lovely gift for a teacher, or for a housewarming gift, or even for Christmas or birthdays. Also, friends, while this is stitching, I'll show you here too. Here is next month's design, which a little chicken I just think is absolutely adorable, just so stinking cute. Alright, it's almost finished with the satin stitch, and there is just a little bit of decorative border stitching that's going to take place now that the satin stitching is finished. I just wanted to give this design a little more pizzazz here. Go on the inside and the outside of the satin stitching, and it's got what we call a bean stitch or a triple run as it goes around the outside. that stitching. The next color will be for your stem, so you can get your brown thread ready to go. Okay, so let's take out our red thread. I know some of you, as you change your thread, you may pull your thread from the end and pull it out. That's a good habit to have. I actually, you can't see me here behind the sewing machine, but I do, well, what I call unfloss the machine. I do take it out very carefully of the tension discs before I pull that thread out of the machine, because the tension discs are where thread can get stuck and cause you problems. So I do, even though I don't pull it forward this way out, I am unflossing the machine before I'm actually removing that thread, and I can do that really quick here. Okay, so this next color is going to stitch the stem, and then while that's stitching, get your green thread ready because the leaf is next. Don't you enjoy doing applique and in the hoop projects? I would love to hear what some of your favorite projects are. If you want to email me at nancyjacobs@embroideryit.com, or if you just hit reply to any of the newsletters that you get, it comes right to me, and you can let me know what kinds of things you like to stitch. Look at just a little catch in the thread here. Hold on a second. There, that should. I got a knot in my thread. That will not work. There. Okay. Alright, the next is going to show the placement for our leaf. And move the thread out of the way. Set the green fabric there in place over the placement line and stitch the next color, which will tack that down. And just like with the apple, we are going to remove the hoop from the machine, but do not unhoop your design. Leave it in the hoop and just trim around your green fabric, trimming close to the stitching. And put the machine back on the hoop, and we'll do the decorative satin stitch again. While that's stitching, we're going to get our second piece of felt, and we're also going to need a little bit of painter's tape. And the final thread color you want is whatever you want for the border of your coaster. I'm going to use the red that matches the apple to go around my border. Okay. So now we need to put the back on the back of the coaster. Again, we're not going to unhoop the design. Keep the design hooped up. Just remove the hoop from the machine and turn it upside down. So this is the back side. And let's lay our second piece of felt, just kind of centering. You can see where the placement line is. And so put that second piece of felt so it's just kind of even over the placement line. And I take my painter's tape, I tear it into small little squares, and then I tape that back piece of felt to the back side of my hoop. And I use four small pieces to hold each corner down. Now we're going to turn it back right side over, and then just put it in carefully because you don't want to disturb the back side of your design, of your felt there. And let's change our thread color now. And I want red for mine. And I have one little thread tail sticking out here that's white, and I want to get rid of that because I don't want to have to deal with that later. Sometimes those thread tails don't get pulled to the bottom side like they should. They stick up on the top side. And this is a little decorative zigzag stitch. And friends, you can see I've done a little decorative zigzag stitch around this coaster as well. And then the chicken also has the decorative satin stitch. And I'm going to do that on all of the coasters in this series. And right now I intend to do this once a month for a year. So that way you will have a really nice set come August of next year. So come August of next year, you're going to have a really adorable Christmas gift to give to someone or for yourself. Like I said, I think this would just be so cute as a teacher gift. Even a Sunday school teacher or a vacation Bible school teacher. How about a gym teacher, a piano teacher? I'm sure you can think of a lot of people who would enjoy this. So the reason we started out with white initially when we tacked the felt down to the stabilizer is because this border is a light stitching, and so the white thread will show through in places, but it's really not noticeable because it's the same color as the felt. We're almost done. There we go. All right. Take it out. And I can set my machine to the side and raise up the camera so you can see me a little better here. All right, it's done. And now we're ready. Well, it's almost done. It's almost done. We're ready to take it out of the hoop. And we can just carefully tear away the excess stabilizer. Okay, and you can use straight scissors. I like pinking shears, and we're just going to trim fairly close to the stitching there. So you can see about how close I'm trimming. Maybe just a little less than 1/4 of an inch away from the stitching. And just about got it here. Hit this corner again just a little better. And I see just a few little threads that are sticking out. So I'll trim those threads. Ta-da! Take a look. How quick and easy was that? And it's just stinking cute. It's just adorable. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed making this with me, and I will see you next month, and we'll do the little chicken. All right. Take care, everyone. Have a great day. Have a great month, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.